Hello, welcome to Tech in 10, where we're going to try and spend 10 minutes today to enhance your digital workspace experience. So today's topic is going to be Battle of the AI Assistants, and it's ChatGPT versus Copilot. So what we're going to do is hopefully come away with an understanding of how ChatGPT can help with things like customer creation and customer support. And we'll talk a little bit about how Copilot can accelerate tasks that you do day to day in Microsoft 365. So let's get straight into it. So ChatGPT and Copilot are two of the main AI models that are designed to help assist people with various tasks. So they do differ in their approaches and applications. ChatGPT is a flexible language model and it's trained on various internet text. So it's really good at creating human-like responses, good for chatting, perfect for generating content and handling generally chat-based tasks. Copilot, on the other hand, is powered by AI that's designed to help you work more efficiently, and it will go across the breadth of Microsoft 365 and the operating systems as well. It does extend into Word, Excel, Teams, but there are different license levels, but we won't touch on that today. Think of these tools as being a smart assistant to help you get tasks done. It can help you with drafting emails, creating documents, summarizing meetings, and analyzing data that you may have. So with Copilot, you can access it via Edge. It is available. That one's the free one, so you can access that straight away. But Microsoft are really building it into their ecosystem, so much so that the new Microsoft Surface laptops have the Copilot key that you can see in the screenshot there. So it is becoming a key part of their strategy moving forward. Now, one thing that we thought was really important to touch on was the CoStar framework. What this will help you do is get structure a prompt to provide the AI to help make sure that you're going to get the response you're after, because it's trained on different language and text, so it might not know where you're coming from exactly. So CoStar is around context, so setting the stage for the interaction, providing background information on what the scenario is, where you're coming from on the request, the objective, and defining what you aim to achieve by specifying a goal or desired output. Then you're going to talk about style, so the desired writing style, the tone, guiding how the content should be presented or articulated. Tone indicates more of an emotional attitude or character to the response, and it shapes how the message is conveyed. Audience will help you reach your intended audience. Reader, influence the way the language is, what complexity level, and how to approach the response. The response format should be structured, determining based on the organization or the presentation of the content. So that sort of covers off all the aspects to it. So what we'll do now is we'll jump into an example where we can ask ChatGPT to help us with a customer support interaction. Let's get that video going. Okay, so here we're asking it to provide a template for a retail store email return policy. So what it can quickly do is give you a very good framework to do it, but maybe it's not really consistent with how you'd like to be seen or how you want it to be received. So although this is great, we might then change it a little bit, and we might change the tone because we want it to be more friendly. So we can go in here and say tone. And you can see how even just in the first paragraph, the way that the language is very different. So that's where it can be important to use the CoStar model to try and frame what you're asking for, because it can be very different. Next, we have one with content creation with ChatGPT. So creating a Facebook post we can ask it to make that, and you can see that it looks very much a lot like Facebook. So it has that contextual knowledge that Facebook posts usually are laid out in a certain way. They can be successful, so that understands all that, and it can show you what a good example is. So what we've used here is the co-star, and it gives you a very good response that tries to match what you're trying to say. So next, we're looking at market research. So you can use the data to provide ChatGPT to help you analyze your target audience. So you might analyze interactions and feedback that can go into customer preferences, use them for marketing trends, the way you can communicate with them. So businesses can use that information to improve products and services, how to communicate what they do more effectively, and it can really just streamline the way of getting that communication out to people. So next one is creating content with Copilot. So Copilot can suggest text and help with grammar and draft entire documents and emails if you need to. You might want to create a report, write a proposal to potential clients. You can provide a brief outline. It will generate detailed sections and reports and dot points based on that, and it can save you the time to write them. I find them to be quite a good way to unstuck and get you started. And once you've got some momentum, it allows you just to continue forward and get that done more quickly. It can help you creating an outline if you want to summarize something as well. But it can also give you fresh ideas. So it can generate lists of creative concepts for social media posts, video content, images, and be quite useful in that sense as well. So it helps. It can also help you outline the main points of a presentation, organize a structure, or suggest slides and titles for content based on what you use CoStar to frame what you're after from it. So one of the more powerful ones that we'll touch on via this YouTube video is Copilot Teams meeting recap. So we all have lots of meetings that all can be done on Teams nowadays, which is great. But sometimes it's hard to identify crucial points, deadlines, responsibilities, or tasks that come from a meeting. So while you're concentrating on that, Copilot can do the heavy lifting in the background. So I'll play this video to give you a bit of an idea. No, go there.
Imagine you have an appointment that conflicts with your weekly business review. What if you could do both? With Copilot, you can opt to follow a meeting. After the meeting ends, Copilot will summarize what you missed. You'll get a notification in Teams when the recap is ready. This recap will highlight content that was shared, summarized notes, and any action items for you or others whose names were mentioned. You see that one of your customers was discussed, and you want to learn more. You can ask Copilot clarifying questions, and it provides a detailed response. It can tell you why a certain decision was made and gives you helpful context. You can even ask Copilot what other solutions were considered, and it provides citations from the transcript so you can see where Copilot drew these conclusions. It's a huge time saver.
So that's just a little bit of an example of what you can do with Teams and Copilot. You can do that in many different aspects as well, and we will be covering in a later one a little bit more about Teams and Copilot around both meetings and chats. So have a look out for that webinar that will be coming soon. So which one is best for my needs? Well, that's a really subjective question, and that's why CoStar is quite powerful. So both Copilot and ChatGPT offer powerful assistance beyond what we've mentioned. There is a lot more to it. Copilot does excel in data analysis and timely online research, whereas ChatGPT generally can provide better text-based support for customer support, content creation, and market research. It's important to keep in mind that ChatGPT only goes up to a certain date with its content, so that's where Copilot can be quite beneficial. Both can serve as plugins to enhance what you're doing currently. So you can combine both within what you do in your role, and it will certainly help. You can do different things and see what the responses are and put them together and build your own from that as well. So ChatGPT does ensure that customer satisfaction and competitive advantage comes when you're having those support interactions. But I'd say Copilot is better at streamlining tasks and automation and more professional communication. And it does have some more context within your Microsoft account as to what people and yourself are working on. So leveraging these tools in the right way will certainly help you work a lot better. So hopefully CoStar will help use these tools and give you a bit of an idea of how you can benefit from them. So now we'll open up to question and answer to see if anybody has any questions to come through. So there's the Q&A button up the top. If you have anything to pop in there, please do. Okay, so what kind of training onboarding is necessary for employees to effectively utilize these tools within a business setting? So training and onboarding to these tools can vary depending on what tasks they need to perform. So generally, hands-on workshops are a good one because it can provide context that's specific to a person, and I guess the discussion around that and the ideas that come from it can help you better articulate and get it more familiar for a certain role. So there are obviously tutorials and documentation, but it's how does that apply to what I'm doing is the key. So definitely look at something somebody that's aligning to what that role might be, because that will certainly help a lot. Another question is, with AI assistants, how do you ensure the responses are generated for similar questions remain unique and tailored to each user's content? So while these AI models do rely on large data sets to generate the responses, they're designed to produce varied outputs based on the inputs that are received, which is why using CoStar can help you do that quite a bit. Factors such as phrasing, the language used, the provided context, the desired outcome will influence what is outputted alongside the variability that's built in. Fine-tuning the model to incorporate personalized responses will help ensure that they remain more unique as well. But it's really important to recognize that there may be some similarity with responses and not to always just trust what comes out of it, because things on the internet have been brought into these models which can also be incorrect, just like any Google search. So it depends on how they've been trained as well. So one other question you've got, can ChatGPT and Copilot adapt their responses based on user feedback or input over time, improving their relevance and accuracy? Yes, the short answer is yes, they can. They have the ability to learn from feedback and input over time, and that enables them to adapt and refine their responses. So techniques like reinforcement learning and continuous training on updated data sets will help improve their relevance and accuracy over time. So developers look to implement feedback loops into the AI as well to track the performance, to try and find areas of improvement. So that can also come in the different versions of the language models to consider as well. But the whole goal is to enhance the quality of responses that come out of it. So it's definitely going to have that continuous improvement capability built into it. So I think that might be all we have questions wise at the moment. So thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you've got something to take away from spending the time with this. Please check out the website for previous ones that we've run or provide any feedback that you might have. So we'll leave it there for the moment, and we'll see you next time.